everybody, whoever is out there in PPP land. Candace has her live going, and then I have my live going. And so we just wanted to go live just to, number one, engage with our people, and give you guys an opportunity to ask any questions that you wanted to know, anything about the podcast. We just wrapped up season 2, and of course we're interested to know what you guys thought about it, if you guys even had a chance to watch any episodes, and if there's any questions y'all had for us about any of the episodes, the process, about me and Candace individually, what we got going on, this is your opportunity. And if you're interested in what we have coming up, it's your opportunity to check in. So
that's right. Ask away. We're super pumped to answer some questions.
Any questions, we're open to
any questions you have. Y'all bear with me. This is like this is probably like my second live that I've did. So
yeah, I think I've gone live before just to, I don't know, not really to do a Q&A, but on my personal live, just playing around, just bored.
Right.
So this is kind of like the most formal live
ever. Same here.
Mm-hmm.
Same here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh. Wow. You know what? I thought about that before today. I honestly, every episode was near and dear to my heart.
Yep.
I really felt every episode had value. And I know, every episode may not resonate with everybody, but I think for me, the one that I think had the most value was probably going to be episode number 1, Standing on Business. Yeah, because I think, the topic of authenticity is it's essential. I think in every relationship, whether it's your personal relationships, professional relationships,
right.
Especially today, with the amount of people we have online, and you just don't know who you're interacting with these days. So right. I think it's so important to, number one, know who you are, and know who you are dealing with out here in these internet streets. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I say episode number 1. Standing on Business.
Standing on Business.
So if you haven't checked it out, go check it out.
Yeah, we did get that was the first episode, right?
Yeah.
We did get very open and honest on that one.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What about you?
I would say, they were all really good. Really good episodes. All of them would definitely help the community in some form, shape, or fashion. But for me personally, I think the friendship episode really hit me. Yeah. You definitely know why. Yeah. This season that I'm in, I have to say 2. BLV.
Oh, yeah.
Was a really good.
That was episode 3.
I think it was 3.
Episode 3. Yeah.
That was really good. And then the friendship one, because of some personal things that I have going on already.
Yeah. That episode, honestly, that was probably one episode where we had planned one thing, but we just allowed it to flow. And when I tell you, it could have been like a multiple part series, really. Mm-hmm. There was we still have some footage that could literally be recycled. We can really repurpose it. We do.
I mean, friendships could be BOV and friendships could be a whole season in itself.
Absolutely.
Y'all.
That's true.
And what we mean by BOV is boredom, loneliness, and validation. BOV, we done already named it a syndrome. Yeah. Do not catch that BLV.
No. VLV, no.
Yeah.
That will have you in some places and friendships, or I won't even say friendships. It will have you in spaces and places and with people you should not be around.
Right.
So be careful, when you find yourself bored, lonely, and seeking validation, check yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Yeah.
Period.
Hi, Ralph. Thanks for joining. If you have any questions for us, feel free to drop a question in the comments. Any questions related to our podcast. If you haven't checked out an episode, if you want to know what the podcast is about, drop a comment. We are open to questions. We have 3 lives going right now. We are on my page. We're on the Pretty Purposeful podcast page, and Candace is on her live as well. So we are open to your questions. And we'll be here for as long as you guys are here. We will stay here.
Right.
So we're trying to monitor all 3.
Hello, Miss Boss Lady. I believe that's Rox. Look, I'm calling you out, girly.
Hi, Rox.
Hey, Rox. How much time it would take? The time. Y'all, to anybody that has a podcast, or if you're interested in doing a podcast, starting your own, to every person that has a podcast, I can't repeat it, like I can't say it enough, but this takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work, dedication, commitment, and I have huge respect for Miss Angie because she was the magic touch to the episodes being pretty much launched on time. Y'all, I had committed to editing 1 episode and failed because I don't know what happened. I just thought that maybe I could edit it in 3 days, and it just didn't work out like that. So yeah, that was horrible. And then we, talked about, okay, so how are we going to split up the responsibilities here? Yeah. And Angie, she's the mastermind of this all, like the brains of it all. So she was like, okay, I'll focus on the editing and you focus on doing the shorts. And I'm like, cool, I can stick to that. A live video ended. What?
Yeah, that's really odd.
What does that mean?
It still shows we're live.
Right.
That's really odd.
Okay,
Let's
awesome.
see if you can refresh it, maybe. I don't know.
Where is the refresh button on? I'm still trying to get used to the Apple computer.
I would say maybe X that little window out and see if you can hit it.
Click it again.
Yep. There it is.
Oh, there we go. It's just delayed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm like, what's going on? But yeah, I did not expect it to be as you have to be very committed to it.
Mm-hmm.
This is like you said, it's a part-time job. You really have to be committed and dedicated to it. And I've learned a lot when it comes to you, girl. You've taught me about project management. If you are this Angie does not play. When she says she's going to do something, she's going to do it to the best of her ability and give 120%. And I respect that, and I learned from that. Just this partnership, I have learned what it means to have good work ethic. I have learned what.
Actually, give yourself some credit now. Give yourself some credit now, because not everybody. Listen now, I have tried to collaborate with other people in the past, and regardless of my skills, not everybody is able to, just step on in and get right on in. And Candace, I have to say, give yourself credit because you made it easy. You absolutely are easy to partner with, and I recognize that from the very beginning. And that's how this process was able to flow as smoothly as it has. Yeah. So when you start complimenting my project management skills, ma'am,
you a boss.
Listen, we listen. She travels. I work. We have busy lives. Both professionals. She's like constantly traveling. Yeah. I work remotely, but I have a demanding role. But the way that we were able to communicate, right? I mean, she could be in the airport and we texted and we're on Google and, just using our tools and resources. Literally a great partnership. We used our tools. And you have to do that. If you're going to do podcasting, you definitely have to be organized. You have to communicate. And somebody of the whoever you're partnering with, someone has to be organized. one of y'all. And I believe Candace would have been able to do it regardless. I think she's organized as well. But I think anybody going into this, you definitely want to have some foundational organizational skills.
Yeah.
But Google has definitely been great. We've been able to manage, podcast episodes. We plan out episodes.
Right.
We keep track of, any expenses that we've had. We keep track of pretty much everything that we do. Google has been like our hub for everything.
For everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. Everything.
Well, the tech stuff. I mean, I've always been like a techie, and I've never really been. I look forward to a challenge, right? And I love technology, but I have to say that when it comes to the time that you have to put in, when you have to make decisions about what type of technology you're going to use, and you got to make it quickly, and then you have to implement quickly, and then you got to learn the technology. That was the biggest challenge for me, was trying to decide what is the best tech, what components to incorporate to make this the smoothest. And we did the best that we could. I think that there may be some better solutions out there, but given the time frames that we had, the limited time that we had, we did settle on something, and what we settled on, we made it work. So I found that to be challenging for me. I think if we had, because we hit the ground running. We hit the ground running. I think if we had kind of had more of a planning period before we actually started, then so I would recommend anybody going into this maybe start out with giving yourself some time to really plan around your technical specs, as they say, tech specs, what software you're going to use. I would say get that out the way. We did settle on some hardware, and we weren't trying to invest too much too soon, because again, we still had to research to see what was the best equipment, and again, not knowing how much of a how far into this we were going to invest, right? We don't want to invest too much money without knowing how much as far as the time commitment we were going to be in this, right? So we just wanted to we was just ready to go, and me personally, I'm not opposed to investing in good equipment, but I do also believe that you should also use what you have, do what you can with what you have. I am a big proponent for that, that if you only have a limited budget, don't let that stop you from making things happen. Hello to all who has recently joined. Hello to Hangout Spot. Hello. Hey. That's another podcaster right there. What's up? What's up? How you doing? Yes. So yeah, if you don't have a huge budget to invest in equipment, don't let that stop you. Yeah, don't let that hold you back from getting started. So yeah, those were some of the biggest challenges that I faced personally. Yeah,
those are some good points, Angie.
Girl, but we worked through it. We settled with Riverside for the software that we use, which is an online platform. We invested in an external hard drive. We Candace ended up upgrading, and she joined the Mac club, so we both have MacBooks.
Look, and you already said microphones too. Yeah, with the equipment. Yeah. So it wasn't bad. I really appreciate how, I'm still shocked at how quickly, I met Angie just a few months ago. I mean, we're already in June, but I met Angie.
It's going to be a year before we know it.
It is.
That's crazy.
It's going to fly by. But, I mean, she was literally like, I got my website going when I first met you. And then I'm like, whoa, she really is legit. She has her podcast, everything going on. And then just, it blossomed into what this is right now. And yeah, it's amazing.
you just a little backstory with the podcast. So I had originally tried to launch the podcast. Well, actually, I did launch the podcast in 2021.
Right.
I launched it right from where we're sitting right here in my studio.
Mm-hmm.
And my intention was to do it on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
But little did I know, silly me, I didn't, I had people joining my live, but I thought that I was going to like have some interactive engagement and it was just going to flow.
Right.
Well, because there were people just popping in and out of my live and I'm recording that first episode, I had to edit, I had to cut things because I was just, every time someone would join, I'm like, hey, how you doing, girl? How you been? So I did a lot of chopping and but from 2021 when I dropped that first episode, which I think the first episode was about to be or not to be popular. I think that was my first episode.
Y'all have to check out her podcast season 1. I listened to all of them and they were great. I'm telling you gonna grab a lot of stuff from it. So check out season 1 of the PPP Pretty Purposeful podcast. It was really great. Yeah. You don't be promoting it a lot. But...
I know. So because there was a gap in there. I started in 2021. Life happened, a lot took place and I had to stop, and then I picked right back up as soon as I was able to. And again, recording right from here in my studio, I decided not to go on camera and to just record audio. I found that to be a little better for me. And then I discovered Spotify. Actually, it was Anchor. So Anchor, Spotify now took over Anchor, but it was Anchor. And I would just record my episodes. I would do my own visuals, through Canva.
Yep.
And then I recorded my theme song. Purposeful, pretty, pretty purposeful, pretty purposeful. I wrote that right here in the studio, y'all. Living life intentional, just in case you didn't know. That was important for me to write that in the theme song because there was a point in my life when I was not living life intentionally, and it was very important that I declared that in my theme song so that anybody that knew me from back in the day that was still following me or happened to come across me knew that, hey, she's living her life with intention and purpose, and her content is going to be meaningful and
for
purposeful.
Years to come.
Yeah, that's what my brand represents. That's what I represent, and so that's what the theme song is all about, and that's what the podcast is all about.
It's all about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. But I met Miss Candace, and I found that, our values aligned, and she's, of course, she's younger than me, so I was just loving her perspective. I was like, just to hear her, have her add her perspective. We both have, the same values, but to hear it from her perspective, I just knew that was going to really add more, that perspective to the conversation and dialogue. So, yeah, and it did. It definitely brought so much to this season. So, yep.
And I've learned a lot from you, Angie.
Oh, well, big sis.
Right.
The baby in my family, I'm in my, immediate family, I was the baby sister.
Right.
So I never really got a chance to, I've always tried. Now I do have some younger biological siblings, but we weren't raised in the same house. So I really didn't have that chance to, have that big sister role. But gosh, I've always yearned to just pour into a younger sibling. So whenever I have the opportunity to pour into a younger sister and share some wisdom, I do. And Candace, she's been so receptive, and again, that's part of the reason why I do this podcast too, because I know there are other young women out there who don't have a big sister or who isn't gonna get that raw wisdom. Yeah.
Yes, someone who is very transparent, very honest, very open. Because when I first met you, you were very open and transparent. Like, hey, this is what I'm going through. This is what I've been through. We just vibe. Like, have you ever met a person where it's like you just connected instantly and you feel like you could share your whole life? Well, that was the experience that I had with Angie. Like, I could tell her everything and not feel judged from her, not feel like, wow, ooh, I regret telling her, anything.
We all need somebody like that in our life.
We all need somebody like that.
We do.
Oh, someone sent you something. Oh, did he say what?
He said represent, sis.
Oh,
yes.
represent.
Absolutely. Yes. Yep. Off the top of your head, can you remember every episode? Do you remember every topic?
Oh, Lord.
I'm putting you on the spot.
Okay. Oh, my gosh. Okay, so number 1, standing on business. Number 2, who the F did I marry? Or who the F did I date? What? Who?
It was definitely... It was who the F.
Standing on business. Yeah, who the F am I dealing with? That's it.
Is that what it was called?
And then the third one was BOV. 4th one, it was like workplace psychological safety.
Not number 4. Number four, I'll tell you what we had on. Number 4, we had on white.
It wasn't the friendship one.
It was the one when we had on. You had on white, and I had on white with like multicolors, and we was cutting up, girl. That's when we did we had the photo shoot that night. Make that change. It was that night.
Oh my gosh!
We truly hope that this episode will have helped you be able to identify imposter syndrome and encourage you to seek out some resources to combat it. Candace, any closing thoughts?
Girl, you almost brought tears to my eyes. Reframing what you said. Instead of asking, am I enough? I am enough. Oh my gosh, am I enough?
Am I enough was episode 4.
What?
You gonna have to go back and watch that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and binge watch everything, y'all. When I say we've been...
Yes. And then after episode 4, we took a break.
Yep.
Because we did the bloopers.
Right.
And after we did the bloopers, came episode 5, which was
Mother's Day. And then after Mother's Day, was it, girl, I done lost my memory. It wasn't Father's Day. It was Mother's Day, and then it was...
Hi, young Rothschild. Hi. Thank you for joining. Let's see. After Mother's Day, episode 6 was...
Yo.
Episode 6 was...
Rox, help me out. If you still on this live, help me out.
Episode 6.
What was 6?
Oh, that was workplace psychological safety.
Okay. Then Father's Day. And then friendship.
Nope. You missed one. Allyship. Allyship in families.
It was ally. Okay. Was it friendship? No. Look, I said the friendship one about...
Friendship was 15. Episode number 9.
That's why I remember
now,
it.
Why do I remember these, y'all? Because I was editing. So, truth be told, Candace, because again, Candace travels for work, number 1. So, I don't even know what all that entails, right? It's just, my hat goes off to her. She does so much. There's so much involved when you have that type of work-life balance. It's a lot. Who wants to be in Hartsville, that airport? The fact that she even has to deal with TSA and all that.
Yes.
And then, so I decided, you know what? Let me go ahead, because I work remotely, so I have the luxury of just being at home. So why not take on the editing? So I decided to do that. But oh man, I did not know what I was signing up for, y'all.
Yeah.
And but one of my I would say resolutions or mantras for this year, and not just this year, really going forward, I told myself that when I start something, I'm going to finish it.
Right.
If I say I'm going to do something, like I said, we're going to do this season, I committed to it. If I said I'm going to do the editing, I committed to it. And I did. And Were there nights where I was up till 2-3 in the morning? Yes. Were there days where I could have probably went to the gym or could have went and did an outing or something and I didn't? I skipped out on it. Yes.
You sacrificed and edited.
Absolutely. But I don't regret. There's no regrets. I learned a lot from that. One thing I learned from it was I have high respect for people who do editing. Like, to all the editors out there.
Hats
off. Salute. Hats off. Because that really has to be your thing.
Mm-hmm.
It also made me realize that, like, I'm a singer. I don't mind editing music. Because I was sitting there like, hey, I'm editing all this video. I could be in the studio writing some music right now. I would much rather be writing a song and editing a song right now. As much time as I had put. But then I had to remind myself, this is still a product of, my creativity. This is still a project that we created. This is a product of our creativity. So at the end of the day, there's value there. But it really did make me realize that, like, this was definitely a passion project, a labor of love, But would I want to do it again in that capacity? No. Mm-mm. We'll hire an editor. We'll put the money up for an editor in a heartbeat. Absolutely. And I would recommend, so this is my suggestion, if you're someone who does not really have that time to commit, and when I say commit, I mean literally, Candace, I work a really weird shift. I get off in the evenings, and I would go from about 10 p.m. to about 2 a.m. That's 4 hours commitment every day. From Monday through Saturday.
Yep.
So we're talking 20-hour a week commitment of editing one episode. That's a whole nother job.
Yes. And later, it was a whole nother job. And that's why it's like, I remember you saying, I understand why these content creators want to get paid, because it is work.
Yes.
It is work. It is hard work to sit there and edit.
The recording part was fun. Like,
right.
Candace, I look forward to Candace coming over, y'all. When I tell you guys, like, the recording part, it was fun because, number one, we recorded about, bi-weekly usually? It was usually bi-weekly.
It was.
Mm-hmm. We would try to knock out 2 episodes every other week.
Yeah.
And again, work-life balance. Mm-hmm. Candace got, trips. She had family things going on. I had things with my daughter going on. Yeah. So we would try to knock out 2 episodes. She would get here early enough that we would have, we doing brunch, we talking,
a whole day event,
we fellowshipping, yes, we get our walk on.
I'm telling you, we were exercising.
We go to Walmart. Listen, it was a whole day affair.
We made a whole community out.
Listen, right? We picking our outfits.
Yes.
We got wardrobe. We doing hair and makeup. So it was bonding time.
Yes.
We got a chance to just connect. Right before the episodes, we would go through our notes together. We had a system.
Right.
We get our cue cards together. Mm-hmm. We get, we really worked out a system. And that's why I said season 3, we're going to sit after, all this is done. We're going to take us a break. We're going to vacate. We're going to retreat.
And you probably need 6 months off, sis. Like,
yes.
However, take as much time as you need, because I know how hard it is. And we're not talking like, sometimes with our videos it would be about 2-3 hours long.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
And then there were times where we would get so vulnerable and so real. It's like, no, Angie, don't put that in there. Don't put that in there. So she had to look for stuff to take out.
The hangout spot. He said, you ain't kidding, sis. Podcasting and editing ain't no joke.
It's no joke.
And he has a sport podcast. We gotta check out your podcast too. I haven't seen your post editing, but I do know. I didn't know that do you do your own editing? But yeah, so that's I definitely would love to hear his experience as far as like the editing.
Me
is
too.
Yeah,
because it's real.
it's a huge commitment.
He said yes.
Yep. Wow. Oh my gosh.
Kudos to you.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Yes.
Oh, gosh.
What's up, Jaziri? Oh my gosh, that's my brother from Pittsburgh. That's what's up. Thank you for joining. We're just going through some question and answers. We're just talking about our season, our episode of Pretty Purposeful Podcast. Season 2 is over, so we're just kind of recapping what our season was like.
Right.
Some of our challenges, highlighting our ups. Thank you. Well, I appreciate you too.
Aww.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And
That's
you
awesome.
are. He's a podcaster. He's podcasting by himself.
Wow.
Yeah. So
kudos to you. Cause
yeah, this is definitely not an easy thing.
It's not for the weak at heart.
No, it's not. Definitely not.
I learned what commitment means after meeting Angie. This is what commitment means. When you say you're going to do something, you need to do it.
Absolutely. That's why I said 10 episodes, because we did season 1 even before we started season 2. What did I say, sis? I got to do one more episode.
One more.
Let me cap off season 1 nicely with the number 10.
Yep.
And then let's start season 2, and then let's do 10 episodes.
Right.
Let's see how everything goes. Candace got her own brand. Tell everybody about what you got going on.
Oh, Lord.
Yes, Miss Health Matters.
This is my time to walk away.
No.
Okay, let me tell y'all. This is why I said this is my time to walk away. Because I'm going to be very honest with y'all. I gained like 70, 80 pounds. I created this platform called Health Matters, and I slowed down a lot on it because of personal reasons. I actually had a very close dear friend of mine, I'm gonna call her out, Rox. We had a very serious conversation about like a month ago, and she called me and told me on the phone, she was like, Candace, because she's seen the podcast, we showing ourselves and everything. She's like, girl, I was hesitant on calling you, but I had to tell you, like, we gonna have to work on getting healthier, because she's seen me when I was at my healthier weight. She's seen me at my healthiest, and she's like, yeah, because she personally has had I'm not trying to say too much, but she's experienced losing a very loved, dear person in her life, a loved one, due to health complications. And she's like, Candace, I don't want you to experience that. So I really appreciate Rox, calling me, pretty much letting me know, like, hey, do not play around with your health, because this is your one and only temple. Right. So I have slowed down on posting on Health Matters, because I felt like if I keep telling people, eat healthy, and I'm over here not eating healthy, I would feel very hypocritical.
But what have we been doing too? Because I know you have challenges. See, this is the thing. Candace got people on both sides.
Yes, Angie has. Yes.
So.
No, yes. Angie has definitely been on top of me as well, and she is my accountability partner. I have like three accountability partners.
Every week we weigh in.
Every week. Yes, literally.
We send pictures of what we eat.
Exactly.
So, but yep. I said that to say that Candace, first of all, if you haven't followed her, follow her now, Health Matters. She also on TikTok. She has some amazing content. When we first met, I followed her on TikTok. I'm not a big TikToker, but she is. This is how I knew that Candace was a content creator, because I seen her content and I seen all the workout videos, the health. Yeah. I was just amazed, like, oh my gosh. So yeah, definitely check her out on TikTok, Health Matters. Is it Health Matters now on TikTok as well?
I think, I forgot my handle.
But amazing content, and it's still good, even though, listen, life happens, but the content is still relevant. It still can help someone, and I'm going, you can still be motivated and inspired by your own content sometimes too. So yeah. But I say all that to say, as we take this pause from PPP, right, in between the season, this is the time for Candace to focus on her health, right, and getting back into her branding and, getting her brand back up. But, it's definitely necessary. We're going to take a pause from PPP for a moment. I really want to see Candace step back into health matters, because there's a lot of people who did follow you for that, and a lot of people who are rooting for you, who look up to you. Again, I was inspired by your content, and she knows a lot, y'all, about like literally her content is so educational and informational. It's not just about what it looks good on the camera. Like, she literally educates, and I love that. So she knows some stuff, y'all. So I really want, and I've been encouraging her this whole time. I've been telling her, like,
she has,
even though, you know, you have been a part of this brand, and you are a part of this brand, right? Yeah. You still have your own brand, and I support you, and I want whatever you do, like we've talked about during this postseason, whatever, like just partnering, you know, going out into the community and doing some things together. You know, it's a partnership. So yeah. It does, you know, we might be taking a pause from the podcasting for a moment, right? But
you are absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And I really do appreciate it. And when I say Angie, she's been standing on business with her weight. Okay, she has, y'all, I don't know if y'all see it, but honey, you are looking great.
Thank you.
And I'm like, you are inspiring me to get it together. But yeah, y'all,
I do have a weight loss doctor, y'all, so I have help. I'm not on Ozempic, though. I do not do Ozempic, but I do have a weight loss doctor.
Right.
Who, you know, I did have a surgery a few years ago, so I do have an amazing surgeon who I do still continue to see. Anybody that's had to go through any type of bariatric surgery knows that after that operation, you do want to stay in touch with your doctor and make sure that if you fall off, you know, they're going to make sure that you get back right.
Together.
So, yeah. Definitely. But
yeah, I'm going to get back on it. And in fact, I've did a little bit of content creating. Like, I just made a watermelon juice video. I haven't posted it yet. But
girl. Inspired me.
I love me. That's my thing of the summer, y'all. Watermelon juice. I love
it's refreshing.
Watermelon juice. It is so good. Yeah. So I'm gonna get back on. And that's why I said this whole experience, season 2, it taught me a lot, especially when it comes to let's plan. You put it on the calendar, you stick to it. Stand on business and just execute.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's my thing. I just need to execute. Because like you said, either way, you know, people are watching, no matter if I'm 300 pounds or 150 pounds, I still have the opportunity of helping make someone else's life better. And that's all I really want to do anyway. That's the reason why I even created it, is I'm tired of seeing people in my family suffering from diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease. You know, both of my grandmother passed away due to heart disease on my dad's side, and I wasn't able to meet my grandmother on my mother's side due to heart disease. She passed away at an early age of, like, she was in her 40s.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a really big deal, and the Black community,
there you go,
we really need to, you know, and here's where I feel hypocritical, because I know how hard it is. I know how hard it is. Y'all, lately I've been eating Chick-fil-A almost every day. I laugh, but y'all, that food is addicting. But I do know that I'm eating my feelings as well. So yeah, one day at a time. But it's definitely, you know, one of those things. Like, I had a conversation with Rox, and she was just like, "Hey, you either want to choose to be healthy now, or be forced to have to eat healthy foods later, right?" And even hearing you say, Angie, you want to do it for your health. You're not doing it for the vanity purposes.
That's right.
And I admire that, because I'm not gonna lie, like, this is gonna be I'm slick embarrassed to say this, but
don't say it.
I kind of do want to do it for vanity purposes. I mean, that's part of the reason.
Girl, you say that now until the haters come. You say that now. This is what I told Candace earlier. I said, girl, I used to be, when I tell you I used to have, anybody that know me, y'all know, I used to have a Coke bottle figure, and I had a lot of haters. Then when I had my daughter, I gained 80 pounds, and when I tell you after I had her, I didn't have that much haters. I didn't have that many haters, y'all. And I was happy. I was fat, but I was happy because I didn't have no haters, y'all. And people was like, why ain't you losing weight? Like, why ain't you trying to lose weight?
Wow.
And then I ended up getting married. So my husband at the time, I mean, of course, he probably wanted me to be a little thinner. And he encouraged me to, but he still loved me, you know.
As you were.
Right. But I did not have the hate, you know. I didn't have to deal with the harassment. I didn't have to, you know, Google eyes all the time every time I went somewhere. So there are women out there who you might see who are pleasantly plump, who are beautiful, and you wonder, why won't they lose weight? Well, there are women out there who purposely stay big because they don't want to be harassed. They don't want to be hated on. They don't want to be discriminated against because they look a certain way. So personally, I myself, now in my 40s, I want to lose weight, but I'm not doing it for vanity purpose. Like, I don't, you know, yeah, I want to look nice, but I'm doing it now for health purposes.
Right.
But I don't look forward to getting harassed. I don't look forward to.
You're not trying to do it for the attention.
No. No.
I'm over
even,
here.
look, even right now, I'm like trying to shift my dress around. I got this dress in Jamaica, y'all. I got this dress in Jamaica over a decade ago, and I'm like, oh Lord, I'm too big to even have it on right now. But you know,
girl, you can flaunt that dress. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
It is beautiful.
Goodness gracious. But yeah, Candace. So just, you know, be mindful. If you say, listen, you do it because you want to look good. You want to feel good.
Feel good.
You want to look good for you.
Yeah.
But, you know, just be mindful. They're going to be people that, you know, are going to be, they're not going to be as happy for you as you might want them to be. Because I know when I did lose my weight, and I even just when I got my surgery, and I got down to a size 10, 11, honey. Snatched, okay?
Ma'am.
Not everybody was happy for me to see me back that small. Nope. Oh, no.
And I've seen creators like weight loss folks on YouTube, and they talk about that. Like, I've seen women online saying, you know, whenever you about to lose a whole bunch of weight, get ready for this.
People change. They like to see you. Some people like to see you bigger because they think that you're miserable, or they think that, now, and again, some people might be, some people might be sad. In my case, when I was bigger, I wasn't necessarily sad because I was big. They didn't understand me personally. I was comfortable.
Right.
But in their minds, certain people might have been happy because now they didn't have that competition, or they didn't feel that they had to compete with me. Right. But once I start losing the weight, now maybe they start feeling that I was competition. But I'm not losing weight to compete with anyone. Like this time around, I want to lose weight. I want to get fit. I want my thighs to be nice and toned.
Yep.
I want, you know, that one lady that I can't think of her last name. I know her first name is Ernestine. She's in her 80s. Built. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Oh my gosh, yes. Lady is fit.
That's my inspiration.
Okay.
And when it comes to thighs, Miss Sierra. Yep. Hello.
Look, you said Sierra.
Even though she had a baby and she had her postpartum, you know, she got her weight from the baby, she still looked good. But her thighs, listen, she
toned to the T.
My vision board is sitting right there, okay? And Sierra is up on my vision board because Sierra, you see Sierra?
Yeah, I do see Sierra. Yep. She got Sierra on the vision board, y'all.
That is her cover from Shape magazine. I think it was like, I can't remember what year, maybe 2009 or something. Whatever year it was, the Sierra was on the cover of Shape magazine. Honey, Sierra got Russ Wilson, listen, you know, listen, we understand. Future, you fumbled. You fumbled. Because Sierra got thighs. Listen.
Yeah, she, from that promise, what was that video?
If I had one wish, I would just let me get Sierra's thighs.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Lady is fit. She is fit.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, so PPP. So yeah, guys, we don't have any more questions in the comments. Any questions? Because we're gonna wrap things up in about 10 minutes.
Yep.
Candace, did you have anything else?
Wow, time flew by.
It did. I know.
Questions. I don't have anything pressing.
I know, right? I think we covered everything. We talked about the challenge. We talked about
Oh!
our favorite episode. Now we do have a website. The website will still be live.
Yep.
You know, the episodes will still live there. They'll still live on YouTube. The
Right.
website is prettypurposefulpodcast.com.
Right.
You know, as time goes on, you know, there may be updates and things like that that may be announced there. I mean, of course, again, it's going to be live on the internet, so it'll live there. But what was I going to say? Oh, we were looking forward to having guests join. And we didn't want to start adding guests to the season in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
So we started soliciting, asking for guests. And we were like, you know what? No, we are in the middle of the season. We shouldn't change up the format and introduce guests when we were still trying to work out the technical aspects too.
Yeah.
And figuring, okay, we bringing guests in and we really haven't figured this technical thing out yet.
Right.
So that's not the way to go. So season 3, whenever, we don't know exactly when we're gonna come back with season 3, but there's a lot of we will be planning. When we launch season 3, there will have been some planning that will have taken place. Including, you know, having guests.
Yes.
We'll have a guest list already lined up. We will have figured out, you know, technical specs. Yeah, all of that stuff will be worked out. We will have figured out how we're going to do editing, because
Right.
I ain't doing editing.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I did. I don't blame you, and I'm scared to make that commitment. Lord, I'm scared.
Nope. I can't do that. That's heavy. That's a huge commitment.
To say it's a lot of work, it doesn't even give it justice.
I mean, and a weekly podcast at that, like, it's a lot of work.
Yo, and when you're trying to upload the content to YouTube, sometimes YouTube likes you and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's like, nope, denied. This is the problem. What was the problem? So, and then we have to go back and re-up. I think you had to go back. Like, one episode stopped at 98%.
And I didn't even know. Because I had the external drive connected to my Mac, and it wasn't pushed all the way in. Like, it at some point I must have moved my MacBook, and so it wasn't fully in. And it was uploading. Like, the episode was in CapCut, because we use CapCut for editing. So Riverside is where we would actually record the episode, but then we would use CapCut to do editing.
Yep.
But I would upload the episode from Riverside into our external drive for storage purposes, right?
Yep.
And so in order to edit in CapCut, that storage needed to be connected to my MacBook. Well, it wasn't connected, and somehow got knocked out, and it stopped uploading to YouTube. And I thought it was getting ready to, 98%. And all day long, like, it could have been done, and I didn't find out until, like, literally moments before it was supposed to premiere.
Yeah.
And so we had to wait an additional, like, 15 minutes for that episode to premiere. So it premiered late. So things like that will happen. That's what we did discover a couple times throughout the season, that you do have to be patient. You do have to expect those type of things to happen, and give yourself grace and expect those things to happen, and just communicate with your audience. And one thing I do want to leave you all with, is I was talking to Candace earlier. I did tell her that, you know, I never set out to be a content creator. I'm a singer, first and foremost. Outside of being a mommy and a healthcare manager, I'm a singer. I'm also an actress. So I never set out to be a content creator, or a podcaster or a blogger, anything like that. This is part of my ministry. This is my purpose. Me sharing my testimony through the podcast is like my platform, right? So in terms of followers and likes and, you know, the algorithm and all that stuff, that's not my motivator. It never really was my motivator. So like I told Candace today, I said the content that we created, it has so much value. It's going to live on the internet, and whoever needs to find it will find it, and whoever needs to get value from it will get value from it.
Hey, Daddy, let me call you back. Bye.
Yeah, so I never wanted to make the podcast about competing with other podcasters. Oh, he said your voice is so dope, sis. Keep singing. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I definitely will. I definitely look forward to getting back in the studio. And that's kind of where my focus is. Definitely. There were some things I needed to get off my chest. And this season 2, and season 1 of the podcast, I was able to share some things and, get some things out there that I think, some people out there need to hear, and hopefully will add some value, to some people's lives. And we can continue the conversation. Like, we'll still have access to the Instagram, to be able to engage. We'll still get notifications, know. It's just, we're just taking a pause from recording new episodes for now. But as people engage on the YouTube comments and things like that, we'll still be able to engage and be able to interact within that community. We do want people to, those people who are finding us for the first time, that are like appreciating the content, we do want to engage. So by all means, definitely continue to share the content. If you know anybody that would find value, definitely let them know about the podcast. Right. We appreciate that. Yes. Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
You were spot on. Just to add that, like you said, everything that we talked about will last for years to come. And I really respect that about Angie. I respect that about you, that you're not trying to chase a bag when it comes to your ministry work. I definitely view this as a giving back opportunity for me as well, especially with being transparent. These topics aren't really topics that sometimes if you go to church and you are fellowshipping, sometimes we don't even talk about these type of topics. So to have an outlet, to be a part of an outlet to where, someone can feel comfortable talking about these type of things, I actually am grateful to have that experience to contribute, right? So a huge thank you to Angie for seeing the value in me and, allowing me to be here partnering with you on this project. Words can't even express how grateful I am, because this is me. Like, I love doing stuff like this, y'all. Like she said, if you look at my page, but I've slowed down. But anyway,
listen, this was, I'm going to say this. I truly believe divine timing, divine intervention, divine purpose. Because when I tell you we hit the ground running, there was no planning, and we executed purposefully. So there was so much meaning behind it. And despite the hiccups, the technical, all of the things that we encountered throughout this season, we still got it done. And so many people will be blessed. And I'm so thankful and so appreciative. And I can't thank you enough, Candace, because when I tell y'all, this woman, she showed up despite the traveling that she had to do, despite the distance from where she lives to where I live. So you just blessed this, not just this platform, but like I said, the people who will be able to be blessed from this, because you were able to show up and you did commit. So thank you. Y'all, I wish we could continue this live.
Yes.
But we are at 8 o'clock. This is like the perfect timing for us to go ahead and end here. But we do hope that you guys enjoyed this Q&A with us. This is our first time. It won't be the last time, you guys.
It won't.
Y'all, listen, we still have content that we probably will release. We have some other bloopers.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
But of course, I'm taking a break from editing for a minute, so.
You deserve it. You deserve it. Take a year off. I'm telling you.
She said,
In the meantime, there will be more shorts being posted.
Yes. We have tons of content that we'll probably repurpose, repost, and share. We just encourage you guys to continue to do the same. Just support the podcast. If you see any content there that that resonates with you, that you think somebody else would find value in, please share, like, comment. We appreciate you guys. Thank you guys. Have a blessed rest of your evening. Bye.